Welcome to Business Over Beer, where entrepreneurs, small business owners, and people passionate about what they do bring us their stories and their favorite beer. Hosted by Ben Surratt, Jonathan Kaler, and Jason Knope, it's time to get down to business and drink some beer.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second biggest podcast in the Pacific Northwest. We are still behind the Sasquatch Hunters, of course. This is Business Over Beer.
You're telling me we didn't take over the Sasquatch Hunters with part one of this episode?
Dude, you know they cheat.
They're cheaters.
They're cheaters.
Come on.
I know. Hey, Knope, who do we have as guests today?
We have Dr. Tiffany, Dr. Cody, and Dr. Kyle with Life Force Chiropractic, East Side, Vancouver.
East Side. All right. Well, welcome back to Business Over Beer, guys. Thank you again for hosting us here at in your building. For anybody who might have missed part one, nobody would have missed part one, but just on the off chance that they missed part one, we always start with your business, so maybe just give everybody a refresher, kind of give us the 50,000-foot view of your business and kind of what you're into.
Well, we did say we're 1,800 square feet, so if you didn't catch that, it's an important detail.
Right, it's a good-sized building. It's very comfortable. It's very spacious. Good for socially distanced podcasting.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
There's lots of good light. I mean, it's a...
We tried to accommodate you with the rugs. Those are new.
They're fantastic, for real.
We're 3 chiropractors that are a family, so we serve families in our office. Any age, newborn to elderly, and we do so with a small tool that looks like a miniature pogo stick. So very comfortable for all age patients.
I want a picture of that pogo stick. You can send me a picture of that?
I'll get you a picture.
That is going in the show notes, 100%.
It's cool, man.
Well, Ben, we left the last time with you looking thirsty. Are you still thirsty, or did you get some water during the break?
I did. I had to cleanse my palate because, what's coming up next.
Preach, brother.
So, Kyle, Cody, Tiffany, every episode of the Business Over Beer podcast, my lovely wife, Angela, brings us a mystery beer. We call this segment Angie's Mystery Beer. Here it goes. Here's how we do this. Do you want to open them? Do you want to be the one? Okay.
Would you like me to?
There are rules. Hold on.
Okay.
There are rules.
I'll step back here. Okay.
So I'm going to first, she said she wrapped it up, but she also said she put the battery for the camera.
I am not drinking battery acid, Ben. Okay.
Okay, there is a bag in here. So in this wine cooler, there is a bottle of beer, I hope, that is in a...
It is Angie's Mystery Beer. It's not Angie's Mystery Drink, right? So it's got to...
That's true.
I'm hoping it's beer.
So the trick is, the game is, we're going to open it, pour a little bit in everybody's glass, and sip it and try to guess what it is.
Okay.
It's a game.
Okay. It's a game. This is what we do.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. And she said you don't have to worry about the cap because she heard you say something about that last time.
The only thing you have to worry about is...
Oh, so that's why she's mad at me. She's mad at me because she didn't take her role, her responsibility seriously.
It totally is.
She didn't take her role as the matriarch of Angie's Mystery Beer seriously. She didn't mark off the cap. I saw who the brewery was. Well, and then she heard me mention that, and now she's pissed, and now she's still taking that out on me. That's not fair.
And I said, it's not, you're not just hurting Kayla, you're hurting everybody else. She goes, collateral damage. True story.
Take him out.
Collateral damage.
All right, and you know what? Just because I don't really like you guys, I'm going to leave that in the final episode and make sure that I send that clip to her like tomorrow.
Oh, there is wax on
There's
top.
wax.
Oh, wax.
There's wax.
She didn't have to.
So let's use
How do
that.
we do this thing,
He's
man?
he's not sure how to open this.
Yeah.
No,
this
that
is,
side. Yep.
This is beyond me, man.
Jeez.
We might have a butcher knife in back we can use.
Come on, Ben.
I got a drill in the back.
Yeah. Okay, we thought corks were a bad idea.
Angie, next time get one that isn't like dipped in concrete. Golly, Miss Molly. Oh, you do actually have a nice.
I got 2 of them in here now.
Nice, dude.
There is literally an entire candle melted on top of the beer.
There totally is. My goodness, Angie, what are you doing here?
Do you want the pliers?
Wait a minute.
We might need the Sawzall.
How thick it is! I'm not kidding.
I got
We have a letter opener. That might be a perfect thing.
Where's your knife? You gotta have one of those Rambo knives.
I got a knife in my truck.
He's got something. Oh boy.
Wow.
All right.
Maybe you want to let him do it.
Yeah,
Maybe you want to let him do it.
We don't know how to do stitches. Chiropractic and stitches don't go together very well.
Dr. Cody got a knife one Christmas, and we had to go to the ER on Christmas, so this should go good.
All right, there you go. All right, you want to open it now? You good? I think you
Softened it.
The perception of being good, yes. Am I?
You got it.
We're good somewhere. It's happening.
You got it.
Maybe. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Seal has been
Facts.
broken.
woo! It's like Fort Knox.
Okay, recap on the rules because it's been an hour. We tried to open that. So, everybody, we pour a little bit in everybody's glass and then we try to guess.
Pour a little bit.
Okay.
Opening Angie's mystery beer with a bow knife.
You gotta
That's
get
dark.
Ben
I'll take some.
to take some.
Let's
That's
get
a
to
first.
Oh, jeez.
That is dark.
the Guinness.
This
Moral.
was
We call it moral.
style here.
Moral. It's West Virginia right there.
Don't look at the cap.
That was her solution, dousing it in wine.
That was her. Yeah, I bet she probably did.
Shit, that is dark.
All right, Prost. Dude, you gotta make. Holy cow, Kaler, you have.
Not playing games.
Kaler went all in again.
With 2 fingers.
Ooh.
Oh.
Do I stretch?
There's vanilla. There's vanilla.
Yes.
Oatmeal.
That's good.
It's really delicious. It's huge and strong.
That's
That's fantastic.
Taste some coffee in there.
And chocolate.
Yeah, definitely chocolate.
Definitely chocolate.
Yep.
But it is like motor oil. It is chewy. But it's bitter. I love that bitterness. It's probably is it bourbon barrel aged? Probably.
Yeah.
But it's
Well,
not.
the only
but it's
thing-
not overly boozy though.
The only thing was, is that coconut or is that vanilla? If it's coconut, it's rum. It'd be a rum barrel
I think it
aged.
might be rum barrel.
Is that coconut or is that vanilla?
I think it's vanilla.
I think it's
See, I
vanilla.
think it's vanilla.
I think we're vanilla for sure.
Right. What do you think? What do you think?
I literally have no idea. I think
Dude, you killed it. That was...
I didn't Kaler pour it either though.
Few people have the courage.
Few people
Kyle,
are beast
Kyle,
enough.
Kyle,
Right?
Kyle, few people have the courage to drink like I do.
I should channel my inner beast.
And it's
Cody, what do you think?
tons of flavor. I mean, that could be a meal replacer.
Oh, for sure. Tiffany?
I'm thinking this is a stout. I love coffee. I just didn't know I was going to get it at the backside of the day, so I'm all about it. I'll start my day with it, end my day with it.
This is going to be a great part two.
You may
Canoper, what do you think?
You may want to tie her down to the chair. She's going to be bouncing off the walls here in a couple minutes.
True story.
I'm enjoying the flavors of it. You guys know I don't like the darker, stouter beers usually, and I could drink a glass of this and that would be it. But it's tasty. It's got a lot of different flavors. It's pretty good.
What do you think, Ben?
I like it. It could be vanilla. I'm just going to go rum and coconut, only because...
Yeah, I gotta agree with you.
Because why not?
I mean, I like it way more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah, me too.
I thought it was going to be just like a straight shot of bourbon. But it's not. It's not. I'm wondering what year it is. I mean, with the waxed cap, so clearly it's probably a special release of some kind. So I'm wondering what year it is because it's way more mellow than I was expecting. I was expecting it to really be a punch in the face, but it's nice. I really like it.
Something force related, maybe Life Force, maybe something with a back, because she does that.
What about Dark Star? Could it be Dark Star from Fremont? The Dark Star Oatmeal Stout from like 2017? 2017 Fremont Dark Star Stout. That's my guess. Bourbon barrel aged Dark Star from Fremont. That's my guess.
Yeah, you went all in on that. I'm thinking it's going to be related to health or the back or the head or something because she knew we were. So I'm going to say it's going to be a rum barrel aged something.
But the Dark Star is like the dark side
Of the Force.
Mm-hmm. That's why I went there.
Right, bro. Okay.
Pretty good.
Canoper, what do you think?
You know I have no clue.
Who would like to do the reveal? It can't be Canope.
There we go.
I'll do it.
All right. Tiffany, big reveal.
Jeez, he is. Look at
Calling an Uber.
Here it goes. Are we ready for this?
We're ready. Crux.
Tough love.
This says Crux Tough Love. So, Miss Angie, I just gotta ask what this means of the tough love around here. We're getting ready for Valentine's Day, but woofed. I don't know if Valentine's Day is included in this bottle.
What is it? What does the description say? Anything?
It says barrel aged Imperial Stout. Barrel aged Imperial Stout.
Saying what?
No. Maybe if I flip it, it could. I think Cody is ready to take over. Well, here it is. Kentucky bourbon barrels.
There you go. Wow.
There it is.
Well, I know you're from where?
West Virginia.
Close enough.
It is
Tomato,
very
tomato.
close.
Close enough. That's it. That's the connection. Well, you're Cincinnati. That's close too. Kentucky.
Well, I'm wondering.
Tough love. Why would?
I got some more spices here for you, though. She went all in. It says the blackstrap molasses and the spices.
The molasses really works, though. The sweetness is
for
that's
sure,
what mellows
for
it
sure.
out.
That's that vanilla.
Vanilla.
That's
Yep.
that vanilla, yeah.
Yep.
It was in the barrel for nearly a year. Oak smoked wheat and malt rye.
With the wax cap, I thought we were looking at like 1873. It's been in the barrel since, but
So that's a very classy bottle of beer.
So remember, Ben, what did she say? Collateral damage? Tough love.
Tough love.
Tough love. Tough love.
There it is.
It's
them.
not
It's not for
on us.
them.
It's on you guys.
It's for us.
No.
That was it. It was our tough love.
Is that our first Crux beer on the show?
No.
We had others?
Yeah. Right?
Name it.
Have we not had Crux?
On the regular show, I know we've drank Crux. I'm certain we've drank Crux on the happy hour. On the regular show, I don't know if we've ever had a Crux beer. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Well, I mean, if nobody knows Crux, I mean, they are...
And I'm sorry. Just to make the connection, where are they out of?
Bend.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yep.
The shoots.
She's a witch.
She is.
Sorry.
I said witch. It's a witch. Just for the record. Prost. Guys, thank you for being on the show.
Yeah,
Thank you.
guys.
Great beer.
So I did some research.
that's good.
Kaylor, I did research for
I'm
this
proud
episode.
of you, bro.
I really did. I did stuff.
I'm really proud of you.
I know
really
you
am.
are. I know. I typed in. I didn't even say it.
Well, he didn't go to the library.
I already know what he's
Tiffany.
saying. I already know where you're going with this.
But Dr. Tiffany, you couldn't expect him to go to the library. I mean,
Yeah.
him going to Google is how he does the research.
I totally went to Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, I typed it. Yeah. And I had to go get familiarized with my Dewey Decimal System again.
He had to catch a plane to Davenport, Iowa.
I did research and I typed in chiropractors close to me. And I came up with 17. Just
right?
in the 98683.
Is that right?
Yeah. 17. You are, I don't know, Tiffany, I'm sorry. I don't know how big of a city you grew up in. Was it small?
No stoplights in a
Is it
county.
Chilton small?
It's smaller.
Smaller.
Is it really? Mm-hmm. So I know from being in Kiel and hello to Kiel people, shout out. There's probably one chiropractor, maybe in between Kiel and Chilton, maybe in New Holstein somewhere, there's one chiropractor. Or you have to go to Sheboygan for a chiropractor. Now you start your own business in a bigger city, and not like Vancouver's the metropolitan of like New York, but it's bigger. How do you compete with that? How do you go from like your mentality, from the small town mentality of like, I would be the only one, I'd be the only game in town. But now I'm I'm one of 17 in town. What is that mentality like, and how do you combat that?
Yeah, I'll speak onto this a little bit. So, the reason we come to like a bigger town is because we want to have a bigger reach and help more people. Unfortunately, with those small towns, you're limited to those pockets where here we can see and we can help more people. And then as far as competing, it's never really been, I would say, a competition for us. We know what we do here, and we know that every chiropractor, like most professions, everyone's a little bit different. People are going to resonate with different people. And so we're going to attract the people we are, and the 5 chiropractors across the street, they're going to attract the people that they are. And at the end of the day, people need chiropractic care, and whether it's us or someone else, we're happy that their body's healing and adapting.
Man, that is awesome. I mean, that's so small town, you don't even realize it. It's like, I just want everybody, and I'm not making, I don't mean that like in a jesting way. Like, I mean that in a very sincere, because you have your own community here. And it's not like you're competing against another business's community. Yeah. You're just developing your own. And when I say small town, don't take offense, because I get it. But at the same time, it's like, it's always been, there's that one chiropractor in town, or that one, even dentists are the same way. Yeah. Everybody went to the same dentist, but now out here, there's dentists on every corner. It's just, I love how you said it's not a competition as much as it is, you just want everybody to be healthy, whether it's with us or with other people. That's cool, man. Dig that.
What is the chiropractic community like here in, let's say, East Vancouver? I mean, just in the zip code. I mean, do you guys is there a community? Is there a relationship among different practices? And kind of, how do you, and the reason I ask, I want to preface this, because we talk on this show a lot about the Vancouver small business community. Yeah. In general, we talk a lot about the beer culture and the breweries and the tap houses, where they compete, sort of, sure, right? They compete to help each other, and they try to lift each other up. Is there a lot of that in the chiropractic community? Kind of talk a little bit about that community here in Vancouver and your interaction with them.
Cody really hit on it in the sense of like, we attract the community that resonates with us, and they attract the community that resonates with them. And we've actually sent people, and we've been sent people where, you know what, maybe it's a technique thing, maybe it's a personality thing, maybe that person would have a better experience and be more consistent with their care with somebody else. And that's been reciprocal with multiple offices here in East Vancouver. And at the end of the day, I think within chiropractic here in East Vancouver, it's a very selfless sort of profession. And it's not so much what can I get out of the community, but what can I give back to the community? Because at the end of the day, let's be honest, I mean, I don't know, but anybody listening to this podcast, think about the last time you went and got a chiropractic adjustment. You know, it's a very underserved sort of population. A lot of people don't go to chiropractors. And so within that, if we can get more people under chiropractic care and just to make healthier decisions on whatever that looks like, it doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, a healthier society is a healthier world and a happier world. So it's pretty cut and dry that way. We all work together pretty well.
Well, along those lines, how do we do that? I mean, I personally believe we've got a mental health crisis in this country. I think what I see and the way people react and the way people speak to each other, I think driven largely by social media, driven largely by cancel culture, driven largely by selective news. The how you select where you get your news from has created a real mental health crisis, and I don't really see anybody talking about that in the quote unquote traditional medical world. Where I hear people talking about it is in these quote unquote alternative, an alternative medicine. And I'm wondering, how do we collectively get that word out? How do we talk about the mental health crisis? How do we talk about the fact that there is care available to people that is not part of the mainstream that you could try? What are some things that you guys are seeing as ways to reach people in new ways so they understand these different things that might be available to them?
So I think honestly a lot of that starts from a place where I think we've kind of failed as a society. A lot of times we pass judgment before we know the full story, and we don't listen to the story. And I think if we allow people to make their own decisions, regardless of what that is, and not pass judgment upon it, because all of us make decisions based off of our life experiences and who we are, right? And there's simple right and wrongs, like thou shalt not murder our neighbor, right? Like that's obviously not, that's pretty black and white. You don't do that, But if somebody wants to believe something and it's not going to hurt your child, hurt you, or affect your home, allow them to do so. You don't need to condemn them because it's not where you're at, at the end of the day, and they have no right to necessarily condemn you because maybe you're not where they're at. And I think that's where a lot of it starts, because with Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that, regardless of what the social media outlet is, it's who's doing what and what am I not doing that they're doing? What am I missing out on? And how am I not living the life that they're portraying, which, depending on the individual you're watching or depending on who you are, maybe I perceive that as the life I should be living and I'm not doing it. So I'm falling short. I'm not living up to X, Y, and Z. Therefore, I'm depressed and I start having thoughts that I'm less than. Respect your neighbor. At the end of the day, respect the person standing next to you in the grocery store, at the gas pump. It doesn't matter where it is. Appreciate them for the human being they are. Love them. You're no better. They're no better. You're on an even playing field. And I think if we start there and just respect the individual, I think we go a long way. And one thing we actually talk about here a lot at the office is, since COVID started, we have more suicide stories of brothers, sisters, aunts, and uncles coming in from our patients than we had in the first 3 years of practice. There is a definite mental health issue going on, because at the end of the day, there's intangibles that you learn by socially interacting with an individual face to face. I sit here and I think about our elementary schoolers, our middle schoolers, our kindergartners, that their introduction to school is via Zoom. Let's be honest, at the end of the day, alphabet's important. 1, 2, 3, 4 is important. But being able to interact with your peers outweighs that, in my opinion, And that's the foundation. We talked about it with birth. I mean, reality is if your foundation isn't grounded, the structure falters. And it falters for potentially the entire life of that individual. If that's physically, mentally, emotionally, communication, it doesn't matter. But if that foundation isn't set right, and I think we need to really focus on that. And be careful what you think. Be careful what you speak into somebody else. Because guess what? That's the nails that you're putting into that foundation. And if that's a child, be very, very careful. Because they get to take whatever you build upon them through the rest of their life.
And Jonathan, I'll say a podcast like this is how, like this is a fireside chat where we're all enjoying a nice brew, right? That's where you talk about some of the things that maybe aren't brought up typically. It's how's your day? How's your weekend? How's your family? But what about talking in some of those topics to make them more normal than abnormal, that are in a box that's a doctor's office, that's a consultation. So thank you guys for doing what you do in that, because it bridges the gap, like blogs and telling the real story of the honest truth of like, hey, I'm having a really cruddy day and here's why. That's the story that people go, oh, cool, that person's also having a really cruddy day, but we can get through it. So like the podcast, really, that's the new thing. That's the new thing that is reaching people that make them feel normal in their environment.
Thank you, everybody. We're out.
I'm like, I don't know. I have no question from that. Dude, you guys, that was incredible.
Truth is truth, Ben. At the end of the day, truth is truth. I mean,
That was incredible.
yeah, is the way it is. I don't know.
Canope, Amy comes here, right?
Yes.
How is her? We talked a lot about the children, about the adults. Your wife comes here, so what does she say about Life Force?
Well, you guys know her. She likes to pitch shit to people. And, so when she comes home, she's either walking normal, limping, and she's always telling me who the tough one of the bunch is. And isn't. And, Go ahead.
Never mind. Go. Continue. Because it won't make it. I won't do it. I can't do it.
I love it when there's a Canope joke and Ben and I both go to the mic at the same time. And then we look at each other. Who's going to take it?
Let him. Just hand him the ball to the end zone. Let's.
You're gonna make me lose track where I was at here. All right, let's see. All right, so all right.
You don't talk very much. So go start it. You get some real airtime tonight. Come on.
So yeah, from an adult standpoint, like you guys said, it just compounds year after year when you do the wrong things and you don't take care of yourself. And Amy was in an accident where she was hit from the side by someone who ran a red light, and recently she actually had passed out, and she came in here and you guys did I don't remember, it was a NASA assessment, I believe, or something.
Yeah.
So you did this assessment on her, and you said, well, yeah, you have this issue on this side of your neck, and this is probably what has attributed to it. And so every time she comes in here, you see a difference in her.
Yeah.
Either that she's walking fine or not.
Yeah.
And each of you have your own different strengths, I think. And I don't even know where to go with this, to be honest with you. I mean, she's just, there's good and there's bad. And when you get adjusted, your bones and your joints, everything feels manipulated. You're sore sometimes, you feel great sometimes. And I think you just need to keep going through the process and keep going until you finally find the point where you're feeling better about yourself and feeling good, because if you stop, you're not going to get any better. Yeah. So I don't know how to answer that really.
We should have brought her instead.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. She did offer to come.
Yeah,
She did offer to come.
He just talked for 5 minutes and said he didn't know how to answer it.
Yeah.
Why didn't he lead with that?
You can cut it out.
He should have led with I don't know.
You
how
can
to
cut
answer
that in post-production, right?
No, I'm going to put that up front. That's going to be the...
Well, after you guys stopped me and went back and forth for a couple minutes, I kind of forgot what the hell I was trying to answer.
That's our fault. We should know better not to get him off track.
Yeah, once you stop me, I'm done.
Sorry, bro. No, you're doing great though. Is there any more of that Angie's mystery beer left?
There's a little bit left.
He can use a shot of Angie's mystery beer.
I have another question. I want to know, what? And Angie told me to like tread carefully about this story. And if you don't want to say it, bro.
Yo, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring it on.
Because she's like, are you sure?
Yeah.
She's very... So...
Is this what I think? Is this...
Yeah.
So I listened. I listened to the Business Over Beer Happy Hour, the Bob Happy Hour episode with Life Force Chiropractic.
Yeah.
And at the very end of that episode, you had a massive tease.
Yeah.
You said two things. Number one, you said, when things get back to normal, we'll do a regular podcast episode. Well, here we are 8 months later. It still hasn't gone back to normal. But that's not your fault.
Hey, wait a minute! Wait a minute!
And two, you said...
I coughed on like 3 people.
It's just that easy. It spreads just like that.
And two, you said when they come back on, we want to hear the story. Is this the story?
This is the story. But I told her
we're finally paying out, so that's good. We're like a slot machine, man. We're paying out.
I told Angie, and she's like, "Are you sure? Because it seems like it bugged him last time, and I just don't want to bring it up." And I'm like, "All right. So is it cool if I bring it up?"
Absolutely.
All right, Angie, see, it's cool.
Angie, it's cool.
Collateral damage.
Yeah.
just a little tough love.
Yeah.
A little tough love.
That's why she did the Kentucky barrel aged whiskey.
Yes.
Loosened him out a
There
little
it
bit.
is. There it is. So, Cody, I want to know, you, for people who don't know, and we haven't mentioned it like 8 times in this episode alone, you are in BNI. And there was one time you were presenting, and I was there, and you told a story about kind of how you, besides your mom's story, about what kind of changed you into self-care, into helping others, and your experience. Can you just repeat that story?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, B and I was talking about like a couple major points in my life that kind of directed to where I am here today. And one of those, of all things, was actually a fishing trip up in Canada. It was the summer of 2009, and it was my brother Kyle, my grandpa, uncle, and cousin. We were up in Canada on a fishing trip. Pretty typical day. We were all at the cabin except my uncle. He was out fishing. I just got done with a run. And got back to the cabin. Uncle was pulling his boat in. Wind was starting to pick up. We're like, okay, we'll go help him unload his boat. See if
What time of year was this? Was it
July?
July?
It was right around the 4th of July.
And where were you?
Ontario. Middle of nowhere, really. Middle of the pine forest on the lake. Yeah, we went down to help him unload his boat. As we're bringing his supplies back up, his fishing rod, all tackle and stuff, we get up to the cabin, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle, but I believe we went into the cabin, we set fishing stuff down. My uncle is still out on the porch, and he goes, "Hey guys, you need to get out here and see this."
Yep.
And at that point, it's like a windstorm. You can hear the wind. Things are starting to just blow, and we go outside. We come out the porch, and we look up. And you're seeing like large branches, like trees flying through the air.
So was your uncle? So you were putting stuff away. And was there water by you, or was it just woods?
Yeah. So the lake was probably about 40 yards from our cabin.
Okay.
Yeah. But the boat launch itself was probably 100, 200, 300 yards away.
Oh wow.
So we walked up from the boat ramp. We were putting things away, and yeah, he's, "You guys got to come see this." We go outside, and we see things just flying through the air. And initially, it's just like the reaction, and part of my language is just like, "Oh shit, this is a tornado!" And so, like, immediately turned around, and as we turned around, we're met by that gust of wind that pretty much just knocks you off your feet.
Yep.
And so it's like walking through a wind tunnel. We get inside, and
where'd you go back into the?
We went back into the cabin, and my instinct was always like, because in school you're one of the benefits of school, I guess, and what they teach you, I guess, as far as tornadoes is
In the Midwest.
In the Midwest, yeah.
Midwest.
In the Midwest, it's get to that interior room and get down.
Yeah.
And so the interior room, I mean, this is like stick cabin. There's not a whole lot to the structure. There's 2 bedrooms on each side and a bathroom in the middle. So run into the bathroom. I was in the lead, so I actually was able to get down by the tub. Kyle was behind me. But by the time he was even trying to get down, the cabin itself was already getting picked up. So it's getting picked up. I got down by the tub, and Kyle's behind me, and then my grandpa actually grabbed the hold. Our grandpa's he's a badass.
He's a beast.
He's a
beast.
Like, he's just a hardcore dude. But he grabs my uncle and my cousin and just like bear hugs them as we're getting picked up. And then at that point, it's almost like we levitated for a second. And then everything just was chaotic. I guess there was just like, you just hear things ripping, you hear things crashing. And my personal experience for a while, and I have no idea how long we were actually in this tornado. I don't have a time reference, but things definitely slowed down.
Yep.
It definitely slowed down. For me, it was like I'm going through like a pile of gravel. I'm just getting hit. And then I think to myself, like, well, there's going to be a 2x4 that like just goes through me. Like, this is kind of it. And I'm not sure if I didn't share this part at BNI, but within that, and I'll get emotional within sharing this, is I actually had a moment, and I'm Christian, and that's my faith, and I had a moment where I was able to directly speak with Jesus and say, hey, I didn't get to say goodbye to my family. I'm not done on this earth. And there was just complete calm and just like, I got you. Things are taken care of. We're good. I left that moment. I left that moment, opened my eyes. I see my brother Kyle. He's about 20 yards away from me, and he's just got blood down his face. And I'm like, well, shoot, I think we're dead. Like that was my initial response. I was like, well, crap, I'm pretty sure we're dead. But then my grandpa, being the gentleman, the beast that he is, he comes running up the hill, pretty much carrying my uncle and my cousin in his arms.
2 torn rotator cuffs.
Rotator cuffs. His like toes like swollen in the size of like a mango. And he's carrying them, and we look up over the lake, and you can just see the tornado just taking our cabin and just dropping it, just like throwing it all, just covering the entire lake. And we see him come up, and I remember standing up and being like, it's still pulling you. Like, you can see it out on the lake, but it still has enough force where it's pulling you into it. And so we ran up to the next cabin that was closest to us. And I mean, we ran down power lines that were shocking the vehicles that we had up there. And like, we ran over them just trying to get away from it. And we were fine. And we got to that cabin, and at that point, we're in the middle of nowhere, Canada. And so they called for ambulances, and it took them probably about an hour to get there. The guys in the cabin next to us, and I don't take this story lightly, is because those 3 guys actually, they found them in the lake. And my grandpa, once again being the beast he is, as soon as he got his bearings and made sure we were all right, he's out on the lake looking for them.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, and it's not, because I know our military guys see this all the time, and they go, and then I try to put myself in their feet, but seeing them pulling the people on shore, those guys on shore, and seeing them and knowing that easily could have been us, it changes your perspective on life. So we ended up going to the hospital about an hour and a half away. Kyle here's got a nice cool scar across his face where he thought he was tougher than the bathtub, but I don't think that's true.
Pulled porcelain out for about 2 years, you know?
Yeah. And so went to the hospital, and I think at that point it's like 2 a.m. And I was the least harmed by it because I'm probably the toughest. So like they're all getting like stitches and bandage, and I'm like, I'm
Unless
good.
Tiffany's there, right?
Yeah, unless Tiffany was there.
Kyle, how was your conversation with Jesus?
To be honest, in that moment, it's relatively similar. I've never been so calm in my entire life. I went to like dive down by the bathtub, get over Cody, and I look to the right, and I can see clear outside, right? And he described the cabin relatively well, right? We have a bathroom wall, and then we have the bedroom, and then we have a bedroom wall. Well, I could see clear out because it was taking the cabin off of the foundation like the top of a tin can, right? Just peeling it up. And mid getting down, I never was able to get down to the tub and get down towards the ground because it grabbed me, levitated like Dr. Cody said, and then it just grabbed you. And then it just sucked you back into the tornado. And then action figure, Barbie doll, I don't care what it is, go in your kid's playroom, grab it by the foot and shake it around. That's what it was. That's what the experience was like. And through that, a calm came over. You accepted that this is far beyond anything I can control. Time is almost stopped. This is the end of my life, and I accept it. And there was no, I don't even know how to put it into the words. There was no like begging or bartering. It was just calm. It was peaceful, and whatever came out of it, you knew it was going to be okay. You know, and
Were you religious at the time?
Yeah, we were raised Catholic, so I've always had a little bit of that growing up, but we were more of the Christmas, Easter Catholic.
the Creaster.
Yeah, what they call them, yeah,
okay,
the- yeah.
Creaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I wouldn't say I was super religious or super faithful at that time.
How about you?
No, because for me at that time, little backstory on me, 16 years old, and I had every 2 months I was on a pretty healthy cycle of losing a best friend in a car accident. You know, so you sit there and you bounce back and forth and you barter and bargain and God take half my life so I can have my friend Adam back. You know, you have that conversation and try to figure out where faith lies. You know, how good is everything if everybody I care about's falling off of the planet like a leaf off a tree? You know, and you have that conversation. But you go through an experience like that, and you realize the blessings that were bestowed upon you, and now the footprint you get to leave on the earth moving forward. I mean, it really helps go ahead and solidify those kind of things for you. Really puts things into perspective, and kind of circling back on the past conversation, really humbles you and realizes you have no business judging anybody, and nobody has any business judging you. So,
Dude, that's amazing. You both, that's an amazing story. Like, I wouldn't even know how to. I want to know so badly that feeling. You express it, but like you said, there was that feeling of you don't know if you were on the ground, off the ground, in the cabin, out of the cabin. The cabin was gone when you. I mean, and then having that moment of realization, like this could be it. I mean. It's I don't want to say it's a blessing and a curse, but it's a blessing and a curse because you never want to go through that. But at the same time,
it helps you kind of put your place in the world and give you a perspective of control what you can control and give the rest to the God. Give the rest to whoever you believe in. For us, it's God. Obviously, give the rest to the world, whatever it is for you individually. But at the end of the day, there's a handful of things that you get to make decisions on and you get to control in your life. Focus on that. You don't get to control what Tommy, what Susie, what Kim, what Sarah do. That's not your business. That's not your job. And it isn't now, and it never will be. But when it comes down to it and you're riding the ride of your life inside of a tornado, you don't get to control that. It might be your time, and you need to be okay with that.
Oh, jeez. You guys are awesome. I put my faith in Canope. So if I'm in a tornado with Canope,
You're in good hands.
Invincible.
I have plenty of micro USB cords to get me through it.
Your data's been backed up. It's okay.
Yeah. Go fishing with the.
My data's been
Cody
back. My passwords are good. I got dual factor.
It's got a letter and a number in there.
And a capital letter too.
Special symbol.
Oh, you guys are awesome. That's an incredible. I still like hearing it now. Wow.
I mean, there's so much to take from that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even begin to distill it all, but how you react in a crisis, how you make decisions on a day-to-day basis after going through something like that, how you appreciate what you have in this moment, because what, 5 minutes from now a tornado might come barreling through this building, right? There's so much wrapped up in that story, philosophically, spiritually, emotionally, that it's so hard to distill all of that. And for you to share that part of your life with us and with our listeners is just, it's mind-blowing. I loved it. I loved hearing it because, especially from a small business standpoint, bringing it back to that side of it. Again, I think about how you manage a crisis and how you manage your business and how you live your life within your business and how you set up the mission and your values and what you want to give back to your community. It's all wrapped up into everything you guys just shared in that story. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. So thank you for that. I can't think of a better way to wrap this episode other than to be filled with tons of gratitude for you sharing that story, for sharing your space and sharing your time. We're going to leave it there. But before we go, Ben, it's time.
It is time for the final question.
So there's 3 of them. Is it actually the final questions? Or is it the final question? I'm curious.
Okay. Each one of you, you're all separated, okay? You're all on different islands. You can only contact each other one time, but it can't be with the same thing. So if it's a text, can't be a text. What is that one thing that each of you communicate to each other? Like, I'm here, I'm safe. So, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Tiffany, start then, because I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, mine would be a letter because I'm a writer.
Okay.
And I would communicate to Cody, and I would let him know that I'm okay. And Cody knows that if I say I'm okay, then that means that I'm actually trusting that the good Lord is taking care of me, because I'm a spazoid and I freak out often and I panic in all situations. So I am not nearly as calm as that tornado story, by the way.
Spazoids, I think, is in Corinthians.
Yeah.
We'll just put it there.
That's a good stop.
Okay, you got the letter. Now you have to communicate to Kyle, but you can't use a letter. You got to use a different form of communication.
Carrier pigeon. No.
If he had said stork, I would have been.
That's it.
Here's a kid. No, the way I like to communicate, and I go to my mind because our family's a lot back in Wisconsin, and I love communicating with them through FaceTime. Being able to have like that video connection. So you're not there obviously in person, but it's more of that personal piece where I can see their face and see their emotions and their facial reaction in that communication.
Awesome. All right, Kyle, you got it.
Yeah. So I'm sending it back around.
But you got to send it to Tiffany.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Phone call. Hands-on phone call. They know. I'm not much for emails. Stuff doesn't get done fast enough with emails. So I am picking up the phone and I am calling people because I know you saw my email. You just did not respond. I know, okay? I'm going to call you and talk to you because I have confirmation you heard me and I know you understood me. Check and check. We're good.
You better hope that your phone call came in before she sent that letter. Oh, and by the way, yeah, Kyle's alive. He made it.
He would call me much sooner than that.
Oh, yeah. You better believe it.
That's awesome.
We're on the same island and suddenly we're on 3. Where's the nearest landline? Okay, we don't have one. Cell phone, smoke signal. I don't care. We're getting it figured out.
That's awesome, you guys.
Outstanding, you guys, man. So much fun. Thank you again for being with us on the podcast. If people want to find out more about Dr. Tiffany, Dr. Cody, Dr. Kyle, and your awesome practice here at Life Force Chiropractic, where would you like people to go?
Instagram and Facebook, Life Force Vancouver.
And I'm going to put in a pitch for a plug for your website because it's got each one of your individual stories as well and the mission and the vision for what your practice really is. It's really great. So go check them out online. Check out the show notes and the blog post for this episode. Everything that we talked about, everything that we drank, and of course their contact information will be located there. Go check it out now.
Canoper, where can people find Business Over Beer?
You can find Business Over Beer at bizoverbeer.com. That's B-I-Z overbeer.com. Our social media handles are also bizoverbeer, B-I-Z overbeer.com. Go check out our blog posts on our websites. All of our podcasts are there. Our happy hours, some stuff on there from the previous happy hours. And
Thirsty Thursdays,
Thirsty
Bob
Thursdays.
Chat.
Yeah, everything's there. bizoverbeer.com.
Right, awesome. Well, you guys, thank you so much. Tiffany, Cody, Kyle, Canoper, Kaler, people listening, people watching. Thank you so much. Our Patreons, thank you so much for their support. You have no idea. We could not do this without all of your help. We thank you, our sponsors, we thank you too. And we will see you all next time.
Good night.
Business Over Beer reminds you to always drink responsibly. Our theme song is Idiocracy by Christian Leo. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Business Over Beer, a TH3 Entertainment production.